Welcome back to the channel. Today I am sitting on a 1988 Hatteras 55 convertible. This is an older sport fish, but it is huge. At 55 feet long and 17.5 foot beam, this boat is incredibly big and I cannot wait to bring it to you. It is an offshore monster. Wait till you see the Detroits on this thing. It's an 88, so it's quickly approaching 40 years old. It does need some updating here and there, although the owner has done quite a bit. If you're interested in the full details and the things he's done and maybe some things you were looking to see if he did, check the link in the description down below for the full ad and it'll tell you everything you need to know about it. With all that being said, let's jump straight into the tour. All right, typically we start at the transom, but because this is a sport fish, there basically is nothing back here to give you plenty of access, be able to bring the fish up and not get hung up on anything. You do have a transom door there, as well as a place where a swim ladder connects. First thing you might notice is how massive this cockpit is. It's 17.5 foot beam. I'm not sure if I mentioned that in the intro, but you do get plenty of room back here. You can get quite a few people fishing. Nice place to entertain some people while you're having drinks for the evening. Very versatile space. It can be your front porch, your back porch, depending on if you nose the boat in, back the boat in. So I can't get this open by myself, but you'll just have to take my word for it. That is access into the aft bilge. This is a fish box, and that is access to the aft bilge as well. Moving around the port side, obviously you have your cleats to tie off as well as a drain for your self-bailing cockpit. A couple of hooks to hang some boat hooks or maybe a gaff. I guess you could put a rod there too, but those hooks are a little bit wide. You have shore power hookup here, as well as, and I'll get to all of this, shore power hookup on this side. And then just aft of that, you have your freshwater hookup as well as a raw water and freshwater rinse down. Looking forward against the bulkhead here, we do have a live well that he is using for storage. I will get to this one at the end of the video. This one here is a sink slash bait prep station, as well as some under sink access and bait and tackle storage here. Obviously these are your tackle trays. And this one is a freezer, but I can't really get to it right now with one hand holding the camera. But it is a freezer, so you don't have to bring ice. You can keep your fish nice and frozen here. I'll do something a little bit different and we'll head straight up to the bow before I climb up onto the bridge. So it is a walk around, obviously, as all these convertibles are. Nice wide walkway. This boat is massive and you do have handrails all the way throughout. The bow rail is about mid-thigh high on me, so you're not really gonna have to worry about falling off. And look how massive this bow space is. I mean, you could throw a party out here. It's got chocks here or dinghy chocks there, dinghy davit, as well as escape hatches for all of your berths. Let me walk all the way up front, and the sun is blinding me off of this white bow. Foot switches for your electric windlass. Look how massive that windlass is. And that looks like a new anchor. Turn it around so you get a good idea of how much bow space is on this boat. Look at that. That is incredible. And then obviously he's got his outriggers. Controllable spotlight, radar, GPS, autopilot. Let's go take a look up on the bridge. On our way up to the bridge, I did want to pause and point out that it is a ladderway all the way up to the bridge. It is something to keep in mind. Some people cannot go up and down these ladders. But I know a lot of people watching this video might not even be interested in taking this boat anywhere. They might want to keep it right where it is, use it as a liveaboard. All right, moving up onto the bridge. It is very hot up here, so I'm going to go through this as fast as I can. As you can see, we have full panoramic views all the way around, and it is obviously fully enclosed with a hardtop, which is nice, gives you permanent shade up here. Just wanted to give you a good pan around. Taking a look at the helm, you have your autopilot, your brand new Garmin autopilot up here. Gauges, this obviously needs to be replaced, but it looks like it just got a little bit of moisture under there. So you should be able to just replace that plastic and be good to go. HF radio, obviously your controls for your port engine. Brand new Garmin electronics. These are state-of-the-art, brand new. And he does have 2 of them, which is great for anybody looking to charter this boat out, or just want to use it for pleasure cruiser, fishing, sport fishing, you know, all the things. Plenty of use cases for this boat, and a little bit of extra storage there. Radio controls. Man, I know a lot of people looking at this boat might not even care about the bridge. There's probably a good amount of people watching this video just looking for a nice, clean, cheap, affordable liveaboard, which this boat is. It obviously would make a fantastic liveaboard. Then you have a nice little meeting area here. A place for people to hang out and have drinks while you're underway, so the captain is not all by himself. And a nice custom table here. So you can see Jack's Joy is the name of the boat. All right, with that, it is nice and hot, so let's go into the AC, check out the cabin. Then we'll climb down into the engine room and we'll wrap this video up. Moving into the cabin, it is clearly a salon aft layout. The first thing you'll notice is nice bright colors in here. It really makes this place feel extra roomy. We have an L-shaped couch that does pull out, and he does have he does have you know, under the couch accent lighting. All this carpet is brand new, and there's just a ton of room in here. Let me walk around and pan around so you can see. Huge wraparound couch, windows all across the back. Brings in a lot of extra natural light in here. And move in here, we have your AC controls and then light switches. This is your panel here. And just below that is your panel. So this boat is so big and there's so much to look at, I'm really not going to open up all the cabinets, things like I usually do, but I'll still give you a pretty good dose of it. Over here on the port side of the boat, you do have radio equipment. I'm not a radio guy, so somebody who is a radio guy, let me know. I know there's a few of you radio guys that watch this channel. And down below that, you do have your stereo. It is one of those Sony stereos. My dad, I think, used to have this exact one in the house. And it was awesome. So I'm sure this thing sounds great. Those old receivers are pretty cool. And stepping into the galley, the floors are new. I think they look great. You do have a nice little dinette with, you probably fit 4 people there, and storage underneath both of these with pull-out drawers like so. Or these seats do lift up and you can get to them from up above. And then just above your dinette, you have your flat screen TV and DVD player. Moving down into the actual galley itself, you have stone countertops, which is nice. This lifts up separately, so it gives you extra countertop space, but you can move it out of the way. Still access the cutting board and lift this up out of the way, and you have a 3-burner stove top. And oven just below that. Right above that is your microwave. It is looks like it's the original. It doesn't have a spinning plate in the middle, but it does work, which is pretty cool. And then plenty of storage compartments for your groceries, pots, pans, all of that good stuff. Below that, some more storage. A pretty deep storage. You can fit quite a bit there. Nice deep sink. It is not stainless steel, but it still looks great. And just below that, more cabinets and drawers, which is pretty nice. I mean, this is like a full apartment-sized galley. More drawers and cabinets over here, and I just found the best one. Hit the mother load. All right. And then looking up, this is hidden, but there is extra storage there. Looking aft, full-size fridge. This is, I mean, look at that. That is a full-size fridge and freezer. One that you would have in your house, so you really can load this thing up for long stays. Dishwasher, which I know people are going to love. Not a lot of boats with a dishwasher on them, and some extra storage, and each one of these drawers do pull out. All right, 4 steps down, moving into the centerline P-way, and on the port side we have your this would be considered like your guest room, your guest stateroom, your guest berth, where your day guest will be staying. It is a twin berth with bunk beds. You have a porthole window there. Nice large mirror here, pillow, and a nightstand with some drawers, as well as AC vent down there. So this room does have its own AC and AC controls right there, as well as light switches, dimmer switch. Moving forward, we have a full-sized hanging closet. And then access into your head. This would be considered the day head. I will show you there is another door to get into it, but we'll just walk straight in. We have medicine cabinet style storage. Below that we have a sink, under sink access, and some extra storage. Electronic head, which is right there. And let's see what's in here. So a linen closet for your towels. I've got a nice towel rack there. And full-size shower here in the day head. All right, let's move back out into the centerline P-way. This door will take you right out there. As you can see, there's the steps up to go into the galley. And moving into the master stateroom, we have a nice island bed. It's about a queen size. I'll give you a good idea, but you can't walk around it on both sides. Nightstands with drawers and AC vent, and a nightstand with drawers and an AC vent. And one of the cool things about this is each one of these has a built-in reading light, so you can't control those independently from each other. Turn it all the way off. You get the idea. And then some shelving here across the bulkhead, and nice sliding storage there. And like I said, he's still living on the boat, so I'm not going to open everything up, especially here in the master stateroom. But it gives you a good idea. And then you have two hanging closets here, so plenty of space in here, plenty of storage. And just behind the door is another dresser style. That is, what, 5 cabinets there? 5 drawers, quite a bit of space in here. And then the master stateroom head has an electric toilet, walk-in shower, which is about the same size as the day head. And then here is your vanity. Nice powder room sink, and then some under sink storage there. And that's really it for the master stateroom. Let's move forward to what would be considered the crew quarters, or the forward V berth. But really this is going to be your crew quarters, because it is nice and tight and it's got its own head in here. But anyways, double bunk beds, not really a whole lot in here. As I said, this is considered the crew quarters, and that is access into your anchor locker. A nice deep storage slot here, plenty of countertop space there, and some drawers, cabinets and drawers. They do have their own head in here. It is a wet head, but electronic toilet. Vanity looks pretty much the same as all of the other ones, except this one is a wet head. There's no separate shower up here. And then just opposite the crew quarters head is another closet, but it is locked and I don't have the key to get in there. So you're gonna have to use your imagination. But this top bunk here is nice and deep. You can fit 2 people on here. So you can see it goes all the way back. He's got his Coast Guard kit and extra linens here. And then down below is your fighting chair. And some extra mooring lines. And just below that is some extra storage and a power outlet. All right, let's head back aft and take a look at the engine room. I couldn't figure out how to get to the engine room. I thought it would be an access panel here or in those stairs. It took me a little bit and I had to find the key. But wait until you see this thing. So this is your doorway down into the engine room. And look at this, I can fully stand up in here, stretch my legs. Look at those massive Detroit diesels. I'll just show you. This is me standing, whoa, this is me standing straight up down here. I mean, there's plenty of room. And for a boat this old, this engine room looks fantastic. You can imagine how quickly these things get dirty, especially with old slobbering Detroits down here. All new hoses and clamps on the motor as well. Both of them